Alright, so I'm doing a little work with the Massey Ferguson here. I'm at the same place that I've been before, that I do a lot of work, where I had the big box blade and where I did the seeding. Just up the hill here is where I did the seeding. Where I was disking one evening and I was talking to y'all about going and looking at that Massey and all that big story, but this is the same place. And we had some torrential rains about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It was right after I did that seeding, and all my ditches got full of silt and leaves. And this is one of the culverts that you seen me shovel out one time. One Saturday I was working, I shoveled one of this culvert out, and there's 3 or 4 other ones I shoveled out. This thing was level full again. I had to come in here with a backhoe and dig that out. And you can see, I'm filming with my phone, by the way, and I hate this thing as far as filming. But I don't have my GoPro with me, so anyway, sorry. But you can see right here where the water cut a groove in the driveway and went down the driveway because the ditch got full. But anyway, I got the ditch cleaned out. I cleaned the culverts out. Now I'm working on these ditches, and I thought the best thing to do that with was going to be this 6-way 950 Rhino blade here. And I don't get this out much because typically I don't have to do this much ditch work on a driveway. But in this situation here, where I needed to pull the ditches and get the leaves and the sticks and the mud out of the ditches, I went ahead and got the 950 out, and it is a 6-way hydraulic. It'll swing hydraulically, it will angle hydraulically, and it will tilt hydraulically. And this is the smaller one that we have. We have another one just like this, but it's a 1540. It's quite a bit bigger than this. This one has, I think, a 8-foot or a 9-foot blade. Now I think it's 8-foot. And the other one we have has a 10-foot moldboard on it, and it's a lot taller moldboard. That's the one I use on the 6030 when I'm pushing snow. But anyway, I've got this one out, and I've been pulling these ditches, and it's doing a good job. And the only problem I'm having is there's a lot of shell rock in these ditches, and it's hanging on that shell rock and jerking the tractor around a little bit. But it's whenever it's in good dirt and even roots, it's just, you know, ripping right through it. But that shell rock, I'm afraid it's going to break the blade, is what I was afraid it was going to do. But what I ended up doing was, and I never tried this before, but it worked, I set the depth I wanted with the position control, and then up here on the pillar is the draft control, and I started turning the draft control up until the blade would respond to hit when it hang on a rock, you know, and drag that tractor down. The blade would automatically raise up and go over the rock. When I got the draft control set just right, I kept tinkering with it till I got it set to where I thought it was about the right amount of pressure on the tractor. The tractor would actually raise the blade on its own and go over the rock, and then once the rock was out of the way, it'd let it back down to the depth I had. And that worked pretty good. I never tried that before, but you know, I turned that knob and I didn't have to adjust the position control to get over the rocks at all. The tractor just took care of it. Every time it'd hang a rock, it'd raise it up, and that was pretty neat. You know, I don't do any plowing, so I've never used the draft control before on any tractor. Actually, I've never used it, but it worked really good in this situation, so I was kind of pleased with that. But anyway, I do not have my GoPro, and I wished I did, but it's sitting at the house, and I have no way to go get it other than this tractor, and it's a long ways, and I'd have no way to hold this phone and operate this thing at the same time. So, unfortunately, you're not going to get to see me operating it, which kind of sucks for me and y'all both. But anyway, I thought at least maybe I could show you what I was into with the Massey, because it was doing a pretty good job. Well, it was doing a really good job. I locked the differential and was pulling, and pulled right up through here, and besides that shell rock, it didn't have a bit of trouble dragging that blade through here. And I actually pulled some of the shell rock out of the ground, and I thought I was going to snap the blade in two, but it didn't. But yeah, this is what I'm working on this evening. It's Monday evening, and I always got something to do, and this is one of the things I got to do, because I'm supposed to maintain this road and keep it going to the best of my ability, and we're on such a steep hill, and everything washes down the hill. Most of the time it's leaves that gets these culverts stopped up to start with, and then everything gets behind the leaves and really stops them up. But I try to keep them open, but you just can't win with all these laurel bushes around here, and it won't be too bad. I mean, look, you can see all the leaves up in here, and it's spring, but it won't be too bad now until fall again. And when it gets fall, man, it's like there's millions of leaves, billions of leaves in here. You can't win. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm gonna get the ditches cleaned out again, and it'll be good most of the summer, as long as we don't get any huge rains. We got, this, you can't really tell if this is a really steep driveway, and it just, if you can't keep the culverts open and keep the road crowned good where the water will drain off, then it's just it'll take it out in one big rain, a 3 to 5 inch rain, pretty hard on it. But anyway, still enjoying the Massey. This is the first time I've done anything like this with it. I did all that seeding with it. It is cleaner than it was. I didn't wash it. Dad had one of his employees that didn't have anything to do one day, and he washed it off for me a little bit. He didn't do the best job in the world, but he did all right. He forgot to wax the hood. That's my biggest complaint. I'm just kidding. Alright, I'm going to get back in this thing, and I'm going to keep working on this driveway. I got to clean all this crap out now, and then I got to fix all these ruts in the driveway and get it crowned back, and then I need to put some gravel on it, because I lost a lot of gravel when it blowed out. Every culvert stopped up and blowed out. So anyway, even the one up there, which I think there's one up there that's never stopped up before, but I think what it was is where I had all that ground up there opened up, didn't have any grass on it. It washed some of that mud down the ditches, because there was a lot of my fresh grass seed that I planted that was growing in the culvert head. So I know it washed some of that dirt up there, and it stopped up a culvert up there that has never stopped up before. So I know that grass, not having grass up there, was the issue that caused this. But I planted the grass, and I can't make it grow so fast. It's covered over pretty good now, but then I just had seeded it the day before. So anyway, that's the way it works for me. Seed it, come a flood, seed it again, and then it does all right. So, all right, guys, we'll talk to y'all later.